Hello there, welcome to Tuck and Cash. I hope you are doing well. So today I have another interesting game to share with y'all. So if you already see the title, in this game I ended up building, I would say, one of the best forest engine that I've played. I don't want to say it's the best, but it gotta be one of the best. So starting hand here, not bad. We have the Mississippi Kite, 1 food, 4 points for the forest. And then the tree swallow, always a nice bird to have in the wetland because you get to tuck and draw. So you get to shuffle and get some good cards, hopefully. We'd love to keep the swallow here. The violet green swallow is a nice bird to build up the grassland engine. But there will be too many birds to keep. And 2 grub means I have to pick up a grub at the beginning to even play it in the grassland. And the bonus card, we have the omnivore, which is very nice. 2 points for each birds that eat wild food. It gotta be one of the best bonus card in the base game. I've seen people scoring 10, 12, 14 points from just omnivore, so it can be really game changing. So in the trade we have the pileated woodpecker. Actually it can be very good for me because I have 2 cavity bird. So the pileated woodpecker allow you to lay 2 eggs in the cavity nest, and it can be played in the forest. That means you can gain eggs using the forest. And I think it was kind of risky for me not to pick it up in first turn, and then it become a mistake for my opponent not to pick it up as well. And here's a lesson. It was good that I did not play the Mississippi Kite because I drew the hawk that's a better hunter. And I drew the wood duck, of course. That's you can kind of see where this is going already. So the wood duck allow you to draw 2 cards and discard 1. And the best thing is that you can play the wood duck in the forest. So now with the pileated woodpecker and the wood duck in the forest, I can basically gain cards and eggs and food, of course, just using the forest. So that was pretty amazing. Yeah, I would say pileated woodpecker and wood duck is really one of the best combo you can have, especially with the house rule that we play in the tournament channel, which is we cannot play the power 4 birds in round 1, but the wood duck is not included in the power 4. So, and of course I also drew the mockingbird, which is going to be insane with the birds that I already have in my hands. And again, the reason why I drew cards here instead of playing my my hawk was that after I play my hawk, I have to spend a card to get 2 food anyway. So again, I prioritize drawing cards first to see what better cards I can draw before I do the inevitable gaining food. Because you never know, like, even though you have good cards in your hand, you can always draw better cards. So they have a pretty nice wetland engine there with the grebe that help them draw 2 cards and discard 1, so they can dig up some good cards. They're only lacking in the forest. They don't have any birds in the forest. That's a little bit worrisome. But of course, they play the Roadrunner and take the first round, end of round goal. So that was worth it maybe, because Roadrunner is 7 points plus 4 points from first end of round goal. So that was 11 points. And what really works out for me in this game as well is my opponent did not have a birds with the cavity nets until mid-late game. So they only have platform and ground nest. That means my pillated woodpecker is a 2 points engine or 2 points game. I get 2 birds and they get none of the birds. So that really works out for me. And I was surprised that, so they played a corn door, that's nice, that helped them with their forest problem. I was a little bit surprised that my opponent did not pick up the grebe. The grebe is such a good, the Clark's grebe is such a good bird. 1 fish for 5 points, and you get the star nest. And my opponent didn't really need the star nest here because I'm laying eggs using my woodpecker, and they're not receiving them because they don't have the right nest. But they also play the meadowlark. So it has the same power as woodpecker where, you know, they lay 2 eggs, I get 1, but it has to go to ground nest. And I do not have any ground nest on the board right now, so the grebe is a very nice pickup for me because of the star nest. Yeah, the engine is already pretty good as is. So right now, because my opponent doesn't have a cavity or star nest, my force engine is 3 points net with 2 eggs and a hunt, and I get cards and I get food. So, and I play my grebe just in time to receive that 1 free eggs. How nice is that? And now I have the mockingbird. This is where I'm really going to make my forest engine go overdrive here. Because still my opponent doesn't have a cavity nest or a star nest. So I'm definitely very tempting to repeat the woodpecker because I repeat the woodpecker, I get 4 eggs. With hunting, that's 5 points, and my opponent do not get any free eggs. That's a 5 points engine from the forest, which is insane. Yeah, really here I can go with either the wild turkey or the California quills. With the California quills I am playing the forest, now I get 5 eggs. Even better engine, but I was thinking like, you know, maybe I should play some big points birds in the grassland because it's so empty. And I can always find other engine building birds in the forest. Especially this is round 3 already, so yeah, I should really start focusing on playing big birds or building up my grassland. So, yep, the long spur is nice for bonus card in grassland, but I was also tempted by the barn owl because of the cavity nest. 4 spots for cavity nest. That can be very nice because I definitely need more spots in cavity nest now that all my cavity nests are filled. And I started making some mistake here. So right now I can play the wild turkey, but I think I should have. I think I ended up playing the wild turkey. Or maybe not, I did something worse, I think. I think I should have really just played the barn owl here, even though I don't have 2 rolled in. So that I can free up some egg space and also add another bird to my forest. To build up my engine and make sure I really win the 3rd round end of round goals here. But here's the mistake. I ended up activating my forest, which is terrible because as you can see, I only have 1 spot in the star nest for eggs, so my pileated woodpecker is going to be 0 point activation because I get 1 egg. I think my opponent have a cavity nest at this point, so they also get 1 egg. So that was a really bad idea for activating the forest. That was totally a mistake. I think the best play there was to play the barn owl in the forest. But I got a few good cards though, so the Burrowing Owl with Star Nest, that can solve my problem, and the Long Spur for bonus cards. So I have a few birds that can play in the grassland, so it's looking pretty good. No, they still don't have a cavity nest, so... yeah, my bonus card luck was kind of bad in this game as well. I haven't scored anything for the Omnivore, and then that 2 bonus card didn't really work out for me. And now they have the cavity nest, so once they have a cavity nest, it really significantly reduced my forest engine efficiency, because before it was like a 5 points engine. Now they have the cavity nest, it just reduces it back to 3 points net because they gain 2 free eggs as well. So here again, I can play either the Burrowing Owl or the Barn Owl. I could have played the Barn Owl too. I think I was probably thinking with the Food Web Expert, maybe I would draw the Wobbler that eat 2 grub for 7 points, and I can play it in the forest, so I want to keep that spot open. That's why I play the Burrowing Owl. Yeah, here I think I wanted to repeat the Wood Duck, but I accidentally click on the Woodpecker. So here's the tips. When you're stuck there and you cannot reverse, you can just lock out and lock back in, and you should be able to cancel reaction. And that was no cheating. The bird feeder, if it's already roll, it would still be roll after you come back into the game. But you just get to cancel your action. But still, I don't know if that was worth it for repeating the Wood Duck, because I ended up drawing a bunch of, you know, low points bird. Yeah, but again, I couldn't have repeated the Woodpecker anyway because I only have the Burrowing Owl with open spots for eggs. So again, that was another mistake. I should have really played the Barn Owl, I think, instead of the Burrowing Owl. And I was surprised I did not pick up the Osprey either, because it's 1 fish for 5 points. I think that was worth it. And there was that made my mistake even worse, because they play another bird in the forest. I don't know if that was worth it, but they ended up tying me for the 3rd end of round goals. If I played the Barn Owl in the forest, I would have won that end of round goal, and I solved my eggs problem. So that was another mistake there, playing the Burrowing Owl instead of the Barn Owl. So a few mistakes here and there, definitely. So now it's like the breaking point. I was contemplating whether should I play the Barn Owl in the forest or not. If not, I can also just play it in the grassland and then just, you know, go with my end game of laying eggs. Yeah, if I play that Barn Owl in the grassland, I can lay eggs, 4 eggs with 2 bat hunting. But maybe I was worried about running out of egg space. I didn't really do the calculation here, but I have a feeling that's not the case with so many spots, 35 spots. So here, again, it's a very risky play for drawing cards this late. But I ended up drawing the Raven and the Gold, which is crazy, right? What kind of luck is this? But of course, this is like the end of the game. It doesn't matter, but still, it's crazy that I drew the Raven and the Gold back to back. And they're nice though because I have the Omnivore, so I can still make a few points playing the Gold or the Raven. So I'm also looking at the last end of round goals here. So my opponent has 7 set, can have 7 set of X at most. And right now with my wetland engine, I can also have 7, so we can tie. But if I play another birds in the wetland, then I can win the end of round goals there. So I think this was worth it. Especially with the Omnivore, so this is a 7 points birds minus 1 egg, so 6 points play. So I'm playing the Raven in the grassland here, in the wetland here. I think that was a good play. Make points and help me to win the last end of round goals. So I have to lay eggs here for the last 2 turns to make sure I win the end of round goals. I was wondering could I have made more points if I used my 4s. I think even if I use my 4s because my opponent has cavity nest, it's still gonna be, you know, 2 or 3 points gain. So that I think they should end up being pretty similar points. So winning the last end of round goal, that was nice. I could have win the 3rd round as well if I didn't make that mistake of not playing the barn owl. So here's the score. Yeah, with that forest engine, it's hard not to win. But the score is not amazing. 99 points is pretty good, but not great. I think part of the reason is I also did not score a lot from my bonus card. But yeah, again, what a nice forest engine that I ended up building here. We're just really lucky in the early game with the cards that I draw. So with the pileated woodpecker and wood duck, I gain eggs and cards. Using the forest and then the mockingbird give me the flexibility to either gain more eggs or gain more cards, and really, you know, for my opponent not to have a cavity birds until mid or late game really helped me score a lot of points as well. Well, in any case, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do, and I'll see you in the next one.